Hi, I'm Maddie and welcome to Let's Talk Home Edition. I'm here with Dave Pepper, who's going to be talking about developing leadership in young people. So, Dave, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thanks, Maddie. Hi, my name's Dave Pepper and I'm CEO at The Mix in Stowmarket, and I've been doing that job for around about 2 years now.
So, thinking about leadership in young people, what's the relationship between the two?
Well, I think leadership is something for everyone. We have this sort of view of leadership that it's this big, challenging, difficult thing that some people do. But actually, when you boil it down, it's something that all of us do. We're all leaders in some capacity or other, whether we're leading in our families, whether we're leading a school group, or whether we're leading our own lives. And all of us, if we're going to live flourishing lives, have to lead those lives in some way. So, leadership is everywhere for everyone.
What difference can it make to a young person if you teach them to lead?
It makes a fundamental difference, and I think we don't always teach leadership to young people intentionally. We're not always thinking, am I teaching them to lead? Am I teaching them to lead? It just happens because it has to, and it can either be a good and helpful and healthy journey for a young person, or it can be really challenging. And I think the role of the parent or carer or youth worker can be really key in helping a young person to make that journey more easily. It's a world of opportunity when a young person can lead themselves, and some of that development of leadership is it's not really intentional, it just happens, and we're doing it really from the very outset. When you're holding your child's arms to help them to walk, that's that first step, shall we say, towards independence, and any parent knows and any carer knows that from very early on their child is on the journey towards independence. They're moving away from you almost from the start, and that is exactly how it should be. So we're encouraging leadership from the beginning, and we'll probably all have images of that youngster that we've seen in the park who is kicking a ball, not very well, running for it again, kicking it again, running for it again. They just want to get good at kicking the ball, and that is self-leadership, and it's really well motivated self-leadership, and that's a really important part of us understanding the leadership journey of a young person, because if we want them to lead well, we have to listen to their dreams. I well remember trying to teach my boys football. They just weren't interested. I so wanted them to love the game that I loved, and I went along to school. I coached the team in the vain hope that they would begin to love the game. Just never happened. But when a guitar came along, that was a different story. Didn't need any enthusiasm from me, didn't need any encouragement from me. There was self-leadership. My son wanted to learn to play guitar, and because he was passionate about it, and because he could dream of a future for himself playing the guitar, he invested hours in it, and he's now a really good guitarist. So it is really helpful for us to encourage leadership in young people, because it's a life skill. It's a life skill that all of us need.
So do you have any suggestions on how we teach this leadership?
I think it's fairly straightforward and simple, and most people are doing it, but it does bear some thinking through as well. Really important that we model leadership when we're around young people, that they see us leading things, they see us making decisions. So it could simply be that we plan packed dinners with them. What does the lunch menu look like for the week ahead? And they realise that somehow these things that end up in their packed lunch boxes haven't miraculously arrived in the fridge, that somebody has gone out to buy them, that there's been a budget set aside to ensure that they can be afforded. All of those things are leadership, but you're letting a young person see the leadership steps that you're taking to make sure that there's a positive outcome. So I think we need to model leadership first of all, and then I think we need to expect leadership of young people. It's really easy to be that, let's go back to our packed dinner analogy, to be that carer who always packs the lunch and never expects the young person to do it. They're not going to learn anything from that. And come the day when they fly off to college or university or set up home, there's a whole skill set that they haven't got because they've never had to pack their lunch, they've never had to cook their dinner. So we need to expect them to step up to the plate. It might be a chore of putting the bins out every week. It might be going out to the shops to buy next week's food for packed lunch. Expecting that they participate in the smooth running of the house is just one way to encourage leadership. So we should expect it of them. And then we need to notice it in them when they take a leadership step. Again, let's go back to our taking the bins out. When they've done that, say thank you. Show them that you've seen it. Show them that you've valued it, that it's important that they're playing a part in the team, and that they've taken that leadership step. There may be a whole number of ways that you see them taking leadership steps. They're doing their homework. They may be encouraging a friend to do homework at school, encouraging a friend who's having a hard time. Leadership steps. When you see it, encourage it, notice it, mention it, and that will build them up and encourage them to take further leadership steps. And then I think, and this is the intentional one, grow it with them. So leadership is for the benefit of others. I think we always think of leadership as being for our benefit, but actually when you look at it, most great leaders have led something which benefits other people. So it's a really good lens to view leadership through. We're doing it so that other people can flourish. Let's just take someone like Greta Thunberg. Her parents noticed her passion and then they invested. They made it possible for her to begin to do some of the things that she's gone on to do and the extraordinary things that she's gone on to do. Now, Greta is probably not the girl that you would want on your hockey team, but if you are building a coalition of people to make a big noise about climate change, who's going to be your first pick? Greta. So she has been somebody who has been invested in by the people around her to grow her leadership passion and to grow her leadership capacity. And we can do that intentionally by encouraging young people to do things that they're passionate about, that they love, that form their dreams. And when they're successful in that, we're helping them to map out their future because they're going to go into areas of passion and they're going to be good at it and they're going to love it and they'll lead others into it.
So I just have one last question, Dave. What is one habit or hobby that you've picked up during lockdown?
That's not dull. It's not dull. So we've just been going out for really long walks. I just feel pretty cooped up because I'm doing Zoom stuff a lot, and my wife has set herself a really challenging target to walk 7,000 steps a day, and I'm not keeping up with her, and that's not good. So I'm trying to walk more, not just for the exercise, but just because it is a lovely change of pace and brings a different perspective of the day, good place to think. And relaxes me.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today, Dave.
Great pleasure.